All right, Vince, here we are again on Podcast Twins.
Podcast Twins.
So, I don't know where we're going today. We teased the audience a little bit with some things that we shouldn't talk about.
Yep.
But I got two things that happened recently that I'm like, I don't understand. So maybe you could explain them to me.
Well, that's why I'm here, brother. I am your personal therapist.
So I appreciate that because I need a lot of personal therapy. Okay. Number one, I went to the Las Vegas Knights Florida Panthers hockey game.
Ooh.
With my family. I took my wife, my son, and my daughter. Mm-hmm. Thank you to Lou and Nick for the tickets.
Right.
And we played the Las Vegas Knights. We won 4-3 in overtime with 15 or 16 seconds left in overtime. So it was an exciting game. But one thing stuck out to me, and I made a comment about it to my family, and it was the most un-hockey thing I have ever seen.
That's scary.
The Las Vegas Knights have gold glitter on their uniforms. And that is the most un-hockey hockey. I mean, we've talked about hockey before. It's three activities going on at the same. Now, ice skating, I could see glitter because they got the whole pageantry of it and everything.
Shimmy. Yes.
And then the rest is is passing a puck and trying to score goals.
Yeah.
And beating the crap out of each other, smashing them into the boards, getting penalties, fighting. Why on earth is there freaking glitter on these guys' uniforms?
I'm gonna have to look that up. That is unbelievable. You know what? It fits in today's society. That's for damn sure.
How so? Explain it to me, because it's still un-hockey to me, no matter what the society says.
Okay. What was hockey today versus hockey 20 years ago versus hockey when I was growing up as a kid where nobody wore a helmet. Everybody was toothless.
Okay.
So
they're still toothless.
Yeah, but they got a few more teeth. And they buy new teeth now. So they didn't even buy teeth in the 70s. But they had no helmets, which was crazy. The first time I saw somebody take a puck to the head on the news freaked me out.
All right, fair enough. There's blood everywhere. Head injuries create blood, yeah.
I think hockey was the slowest to make changes to society and every societal change. But man, they're in Vegas. They're in Vegas. There's a lot of glitz and glamour and a lot of glitter in Vegas. A lot of people who like glitter in Vegas.
There's a lot of strip clubs in Vegas.
Where there's a lot of, that's probably what happened. Somebody probably took their jersey into the strip club and it got glittered up and they figured out the only way they could make it match is put glitter on all the uniforms. I didn't know they had glitter on the uniforms, man.
You're losing me, Vince.
Hey, man, listen.
You're losing. You're defending glitter on the uniforms.
Not defending.
I'm a little bit mad at you.
I'm not defending the glitter. I'm justifying their thoughts on bringing glitter in. As my wife would call me, the Archie Bunker. She's like, you're so Archie Bunker. I'm like, well, I grew up watching Archie. That's my guy. But in this regard, I'm gonna have to go with the Vegas effect on this one, dude. I'm not with it at all.
It gets worse.
But neither am I with all of the advertisements on the helmets. And
I know. We talked about that. I don't like that either.
I'm not with all that. So I think that's just part of the evolving nature of the business aspect of sports.
But it gets worse because not just was there glitter on their uniforms, there were a handful, very few Las Vegas fans in the stands who went home disappointed, which was cool
with the loss
because we got to see rats on the ice, and my kids love that.
Right.
And there was a woman and her. It seemed like a couple, right? A woman and her husband, and the woman was wearing a bright gold glittery hat, glitter everywhere on this thing.
Okay.
And the man was wearing. It looked like a glitter dress, pretty much. The hockey jersey was full of gold glitter. Not like the little bit that they have on their numbers and their sleeves, like the players.
Okay.
This was like a glitter hockey dress.
Okay.
And this dude was screaming really loud when they scored, and Vegas was leading the whole game.
Okay.
Right? They were up 1-0. It was 1-1, 2-1, 3-2. 3-3, and then we won in overtime. So this guy was very boisterous and loud, but we kept looking over him and going like, that dude's wearing a hockey dress.
Right.
Like, how can you take that guy seriously?
He didn't want you to take him seriously. Obviously, he's rooting for a team that's across the country, 3,000 miles away from here, damn near. Well, not quite, but close. And he's wearing something that he knows you're going to be looking at and making comments for. Remember, hockey's the toughest sport on the planet.
Okay, fair enough.
And so he's going to wear something that, and we don't know, that might be what he actually wears on the regular type basis. He just happens to like hockey.
So, I mean, I'm fine with anybody wearing anything they want. I'm not buying no glitter. So he probably didn't want you to.
He probably taking him seriously
wasn't on his agenda.
Yeah, no.
All right.
And if you think about that, taking him seriously, he's like, well, you know, I'm going to be the show behind the show.
But you can't fight a guy wearing a glitter dress.
You can't lose a fight to a guy wearing a glitter dress.
There you go.
You can fight him.
You can fight him, but you can't lose.
You cannot lose. Especially in front of your people.
Well, especially because it would be on video, right? Everything's
on video now. Yeah, so you can't do that. You'll go viral in an accidental way.
In a way you do not want to go viral.
No, you know. Man gets stomped out at the Panther Stadium by a guy in a glitter dress.
Glitter dress, hockey uniform-ish kind of thing.
Then they'll show you it'll be going back and forth like this. You know.
So in other words, as my professional mental health counselor, you think that I should just move on. I shouldn't start a petition and tell our listeners like, hey, sign this petition, no glitter on hockey uniforms, because it's ridiculous.
I'm going to say that we let that one go.
We're just
going to let that one go.
All right.
You just got to, scoop it up and sweep it in.
Okay, so we're moving on. Thank you for setting me straight.
That's what I'm here for, man. I take off my hat.
If you can't help your friends, what good are you, right?
I'm just I probably would have been shocked as well. The fact that he had on more glitter than she did, and his was in the dress format.
It was a hockey jersey, but it looked like a dress. Because, hockey jerseys are built for putting pads under them. But and you don't wear pads as a fan.
That was he at least wearing shorts?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't
that would have helped. Legs, so I get it. Not that you would have had to look at it, but,
I don't know.
It would have helped. It would have helped this, because now my visual is that he's wearing a jersey.
I think it was jeans.
Okay, well, that helps.
I think it was jeans, but I'm not sure.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
I thought he was letting the boys breathe.
It could have been like suit pants or something for all I know. I didn't
at least he had on something else. As long as the jersey itself wasn't the whole outfit.
Okay. All right. Well, so let's move. Like you said, let's move to the next.
Let's move to the next one.
So the next thing I noticed is that the hat with a rope has made a comeback. Oh, I'll let you go first. Go ahead. This is the hat with the rope if you're watching on YouTube, but it's a hat with a rope.
It's a hat with a rope.
It's a hat with a rope.
So.
And we're probably going to get a lot of hate for this.
Yeah.
And we might get, fired from this job. But go ahead, tell them. And I've sold clients a hat with a rope and embroidered their logo on it. So I don't judge anybody for buying what they like. But what do you say about a hat with a rope?
It's very simple for me. I played on little league teams that come with that, which we always used to laugh and say these must have been the cheapest hats in the building. But even if they weren't, pop. I couldn't stand the hat with the rope. All the way through the 80s, they used to bring us these things, and I couldn't stand them. I didn't understand the reason for them. It just looked like the old golf dudes back in the 70s and 80s. That's the only time I used to see them.
And Caddyshack had them, right?
And Caddyshack had late 80s,
but it was almost worn as like a goofy satire thing in that movie. To my looking,
it was that old country club look.
But now you got young people younger than us, right? In their 20s and teens are wearing these rope hats. And I'm with you. I will cut that thing off. If somebody gives me a hat, pop. All right, perfect. So I I don't know, man.
Well,
hat with a rope. Why is the rope there? Are we going fishing? Are we tying knots? Like, what are we trying to accomplish here?
I felt the same way when they brought the trucker caps back years ago. I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, are we really going after bringing these trucker caps back?
I mean, if you're not driving a truck, what are you wearing a trucker cap
And then when they first was bringing them back, they brought the old trucker hats with the foam. You remember it was the net with the soft foam up here. There was something crazy on the front saying. I also had those in Little League too. Hated them. I think I got traumatized in Little League because they used to buy the cheapest crap that was available. But yeah, those hats were terrible. And then, I mean, we're going all the way back to the Jersey Shore years. Next thing you know, all the characters on Jersey Shore wearing these trucker hats, and I'm like, wow, this is a legit thing.
Well, you know who has the most trucker hats? I'm wearing a Bad Beat Brewing T-shirt right now.
Okay.
So it's kind of, and it's a Vegas brewery. When I lived in Vegas, I used to go there occasionally with my wife.
Okay.
And now, long time ago, she's my ex-wife, but that's another story for another scotch. That's who has the most trucker caps, is breweries all over the place. Every brewery is selling trucker caps in their,
I can see that,
in their shop, in their store.
I can see. It blows my mind. That was always some crap you picked up on the side of the road when you was with your family on the vacation in the wagon, and you finally pulled over to this damn truck stop, and they had a cap with a funny saying on it, and you begged your dad to buy it.
So let me ask you this. Is the reason that we are, let's say, prejudiced against these different types of hats is because we're golf guys and we want golf hats, and you're a baseball guy, you want a baseball cap?
Yeah.
And that's why we're kind of predisposed to not liking these other hats?
I would definitely say for the baseball, man, we had no business having the foam trucker hats. That just destroyed your whole morale at the beginning of the season. You was almost doomed to have a bad year when we got those. As far as the golf thing, I think golf fashion has come along so far, and just to be so edgy and phenomenal.
Loud. You want to be loud.
Loud, but you know what? What has the rope ever done for the cap? Can anybody tell me why there is a rope on the cap?
That's the question I'm at. Precise question I'm trying to ask here.
So
look, you know what? We got a comment section. Tell us why.
If anybody knows, what the hell the rope on the cap means, please put it in the comments below. We'll talk about it next episode.
Educate us.
But
Teach us, right? Teach us.
Right now, I have zero assistance for you with this.
You got nothing.
I got nothing, because that almost made me a little sick internally.
Oh, shoot, we're gonna go get some Pepto-Bismol for my man Vince, and we'll be right back.
I'm just kidding. That rope on the hat thing is just I don't have any. Like I said, for me, it takes you to the old country clubs, where guys named Fuzzy walked around there,
and some guys like them.
But those were the only places that I used to see them. I call that the pre-Tiger era golf cap.
Yeah. So I mean, now we're into uncharted waters here. I'm fighting with rope hats and glitter on hockey jerseys today, because that's observations that I've made that I found to be kind of ridiculous.
It's a lot of ridiculousness. I was just watching something on social media a little bit earlier.
Oh, God bless you.
And it was the funniest thing to me, because on a radio show called The Breakfast Club, one of the Charlemagne the God, who's the host of it, he always likes to say that the craziest two places in America is the Bronx and all of Florida. And it was just that, and I was just watching this thing just on the way over here, had it playing in the car, and it was talking about how there's a legit city sign in the Bronx that says, "Welcome to the Bronx. Enter at your own risk."
Mm-hmm.
That's a legit sign. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? When you putting that up there, you already know what time it is. It's just that when you come down to Florida, people just do strange things.
Well, I mean, Florida's a big state and it's very diverse from place to place to place. I mean,
and it's very
stuff you see in Broward or Palm Beach County, you don't see in Polk County or Lake Wales or the middle of nowhere. We're not hunting hog and deer and alligators and pythons. You got to drive a little further.
You got to drive.
away.
Yeah, you got to drive.
But then
out
you
for
can
that.
do that and still be in the same state. So Florida's like 5 states rolled into one.
Now that is true. That so maybe we should I should write that into Charlemagne and work that out. But they was just talking about show one example of a gator who ate this man's dog.
All right.
Well, bit him, ran down in the water. Billy Bob goes into the water, grabs the gator, pulls the gator back over to the side.
Okay.
Never gets his cigar wet. Wrestles with him, gets him to open it. I'm watching this like, are you kidding me? Watching this to get the little Fido free.
He wasn't wearing a rope hat, was he?
He was not. Well, not that I paid.
He didn't have glitter on his shirt.
Anything that I was just more impressed that he kept his cigar burning while he's wrestling this gator to save Fido.
And that was not in Broward County or Palm Beach.
They did not state.
That was in Pensacola.
They did not state what area it was in. That was just a video that they were showing. But
look,
a lot of the things that happen in Florida starts off by saying, "Watch this, hold my beer."
I'm okay with that.
And it's going down.
Entertaining.
Oh, it's going to be entertaining.
It's entertaining.
It might result in a trip to the ER. It might result in something really cool happening.
Well, look, if Billy Bob's going to the ER, some bad stuff happened, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, those farmer type guys, they don't go to the emergency room unless their wives make them.
Even then,
Even then, they might go to the bar, the watering hole,
right? Pour some
the
of that whiskey
saloon.
down
Yeah,
in there,
you go.
But yeah, that was funny. I saw that video. I just cracked up because that's some of the things that I hear a lot. But I've been down here 30 years, and I'm telling you, it is definitely a different vibe. And we always call it the sun effect. It's like the sun just beats on you so much, you just do strange things. You do things different than other people who have seasons, So it's because you're just always outside. It's just different down here, brother.
And people don't seem to age the same in Florida as they do in Chicago or the Midwest or the Northeast, right? I mean, you could be 90 and still be young in South Florida when a 70-year-old might be like 110 up in the Midwest or Northeast.
Well, when you're in the house for 6 months eating,
and eating some junk food that you saw on TV by celebrities and athletes selling you, right?
Absolutely.
We'll go right back to that if we have to. I'll throw them all right back under the bus. You can back them over when I'm done.
When you're sitting in the house for 6 months eating, and then you're like, oh snap, just January 1st. I think I'm gonna go sign up at the gym so I can get ready for summer. Well, you sign up, you do a hard week in January. But then it gets cold again. You don't make it back to probably the beginning of March. And then, the ice, whatever. And next thing you know, you look just like you looked last summer.
We got to buy gyms in the Northeast and the Midwest, it sounds like, because you just keep getting paid and nobody ever even goes in.
Nobody goes, but you get paid.
Okay.
Actually, I got to say this. In the last, I want to say I saw some numbers some while ago. That number that has changed over the last people are going a lot more throughout the off seasons up there, even through the winter months, because it used to be a true desert. You used to be able to go up in the gym up there and just have it to yourself.
Own the place, yeah.
So, but I've heard that and talking to my friends and family that's up there. Every time they do a video or something, it's like, man, what type of day is this? It's a random Tuesday. 6 o'clock, place is full. So that's a good sign. Hopefully everybody keeping it up and start moving forward, man, with that. We don't have to look like we are 110 when we're 70.
Well, you're the poster child for that. You have a whole YouTube channel based around getting people off their couch.
Getting people off your ass, team bell training. That's what it's always been. It ain't about being an elite athlete. It's about motivating you to get up off your ass and go do something.
Okay.
You ain't got to do what I do. Just do something. And if you do something, something turns into more and vice versa. But hey, if you feel like it, go on over there and subscribe just like you subscribe to the podcast Twins. And we'll keep all this thing rolling for you, man.
All right, so I think that's a good note to end this episode on. And let's figure out what we're going to talk about next episode. What you got on your mind?
I've been sick in the last few days, so I'm just happy to be outside in this Florida sunshine. So I feel wonderful.
That sunshine will give you good vitamins and minerals and keep your butt going.
It did. I'm telling you, I'm ecstatic to be outside today. I worked my butt off, but I had to go to work sick, so that sucked.
So, well, it's better to go to work sick than go to work well, right?
Yeah, you don't burn up your vacation time.
Yeah, that would be
stuff.
Absolutely ludicrous.
You save all that for when you're traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the PSAs from today is no glitter on hockey jerseys.
And I'm about to look that up now.
Cut the rope off your hat.
Please, don't even make them anymore.
And get off the couch and do something productive.
Get off your ass and move.
Okay. Podcast Twins out.